Here we go with our top 12 essential reformer exercises. So beginning with elephants, we do the round back elephant first, heels flat up against shoulder blocks. We're gonna round the spine, press the heels back to lengthen the lower leg, and then pull the tummy up to flex the spine, draw the carriage back in. Concentrating on the lumbar flexion here, we can transition into our flat back elephant. So high half toe, lengthen the spine, tailbone lifts up toward the ceiling, keeping the shoulder blades down off of the ears as we continue to lift through the tailbone. Showing you another angle here to make sure that the external rotation is happening at the shoulders, making sure that the thumbs and the fingers are on the same side of the foot bar to encourage lat connection. Okay, going into number 2, arms pulling straps on the long box. So one red spring here. Connect your chest, hips, and pubic bone towards the box. And then with neutral grip, we're going to take those straight arms and we're going to drag them along the floor and up toward the side of the body. It's as if you're painting stripes on the floor. Add that thoracic extension as the arms pull back towards the side of the body. Inhale as we pull, and then exhale to return. So now airplane is the palms facing the ground, making sure thumbs are the same height or higher than your pinkies as you pull back towards the side of the body. And then finishing right there with that triceps. You extend the back up, and so you're in a parallel line with the ground, and then you bend and straighten the elbows, loving the arms pulling straps. Then moving into everyone's favorites, feet in straps. So 2 red springs is ideal here. You can also use 1 red and 1 blue spring if 2 is a bit heavy. So tons of variations here in feet in straps. Always starting with a little bit of lift and lower, making sure that the hamstrings are getting the stretch and the connection that they need. Take this opportunity to relax the muscles in the neck, face, throat, and shoulders. You can do some of these in a lateral rotation, taking it into the bend and the stretch, just mobilizing the hips there, and then into my favorite, stag. So one knee bends and the other leg extends long to the side, keeping equal resistance on each of the straps. Long leg, pointy toe, knee bending, flexed ankle. All right, and then we go into our short spine. So lift the hips up and roll to the upper back. Carriage closes, soften the knees, and then try to get the tail down to the mat before you move the machine. Feet to seat, and then push the legs forward. So connect right away through the lower tummy, lift up using the abdominals like a rollover on the mat, softening the knees, and then create that space through each of the vertebrae as we return all the way back down, and then press out to start again. I like to do anywhere between 3 and 5 every time I do the short spine. Gives your back the opportunity to warm up and really enjoy the last few that you do. Then carefully just take your feet back out of the straps. All right, then staying on your back, we can move right into the mid-back series, keeping those same red springs. So we do the first position here, which is just straight arms going down. Then you angle your arms out towards a 45-degree, and then you continue going wider and wider with some of these, making right into that T shape. Keep the ribs connected down to the machine there as you pull. Then you're going to pause at the hips and right into those triceps. I like to keep the elbows floating off the mat so you get that full extension of the triceps. Circles wrap this series up, both directions, of course. All right, so semicircle, the hardest part of semicircle is actually getting into the position. So putting on the 2 red wide springs, lower your foot bar down to the second notch from the bottom. Once your arms are straight, then you reposition your feet to first connecting the heels, then going all the way out, dropping the tail, and then moving through that sequence. So out we go. Top to tail melts down to the springs. Keep the butt low as you return all the way in. We also reverse that. So we go out low, and then you gradually increase that bridge height as you return the carriage home. Down we go, lengthen the legs out, and then we scoop as we pull the carriage all the way back home. And then once you've done your few repetitions, just go ahead and slide yourselves right back up into that regular start position. All right, core jump. So making sure that you're propped on your forearms are not resting on the shoulder blocks. We've got a single blue spring here. Keep those heels together, toes apart, adding the challenge of lifting the arm and reaching it toward the foot bar as you spring away. We want to keep the tail scooped and the back in flexion, protect the lower abs, and really fire up the abs. All right, long stretch. 1 red, 1 blue springs, hands on the foot bar, heels sinking back on the headrest. You push back as far as you can support, and then the lats pull you in. Just like earlier on that elephant, make sure your thumbs and your fingers are on the same side of the foot bar so we get that protection in the wrist and in the neck, of course. I like to pause halfway through and just do a little ankle mobility, and that really turns the lower abs on. For quad results, sprinters is one of my favorite athletic conditioning moves. Drop down, and then you're going to just drive that leg out. I've got 1 red, 1 blue on here. You can go up as heavy as 2 reds. We go out and in, and then after you do about 10, I think I'm just doing 6 here, and then we're going to just do little tiny pulses. So anywhere from 6 to 10 moves, you do the little pulses here, and then after you do your pulses, you're going to pause, find stillness for the same number of seconds as you did reps, and then we bring it all the way back home. That one works like crazy on those quads. Then we've got front rowing. It's always a tried and true. You have your knees down, hip distance, and then straight arms and bring the hands up. You're trying to go up towards eye height here, keeping the knees as if they're holding a yoga block between there. Those inner thighs are on to support your balance. Bringing the arms up, of course, with the arms hinging from the shoulders. We go right into that hug a tree. So this whole front rowing series, you can do all of this. And I also like to do the tricep version of this as well. So you take your arms up and then reach for the nape of the neck there. As the arms press to straight, make sure that the hands are no longer together so that you get the full extension of the long head in the tricep. All the way up, you finish by pushing up and then sending those arms down at your sides. All right, this adductor pull is fabulous. 1 red spring. You've got a knee laterally resting on the frame of the machine. And like a soccer pass, you just pull that inner thigh in toward the stationary foot, adding a little balance challenge by rotating while the carriage is in that resistance. Twisty, twisty, maybe at least 3 to 5 times here without moving the legs. And then reset, relax the carriage. Perfect. Number 11, the inner and outer thigh slide. Scoot your buns up next to the shoulder blocks. I've just got 1 blue spring here. And we hold up nice tall posture. And then try to open that leg towards the corner of the machine there, leading with the ankle versus the toe. We want to really make sure we're inside the hip joint, not working that quad. So leading with the ankle bone, target is the corner of that carriage. Getting all those deep 6 rotators at the greater trochanter as it goes into the pelvis. Sliding to the opposite side now, and you pull in with that inner thigh. So this one can feel super heavy. If the pants are slippery, you may need to support yourself there by pushing up against the shoulder block. Let's keep the posture nice and tall, as it really does make a difference. So just again pulling in with the ankle bone across the midline towards the stationary foot. This is excellent for balance. Okay, and last, the rotational arm press. So I love the staggered leg position here. So it really challenges the adductors and then the core strength. We're taking that arm and we're just driving it straight across the body, and then straight arm return, just like Grease Lightning there. Take it across and then round it back in. All right, and those are my best 12. Loving these essential reformer exercises.